Haley Reese, and okay, I have went back and forth a million times over diving into content that is this dark. If you guys have been here on my channel for a while, you guys will have remembered that I did a video called The Devil Came for My Uncle, and that was 10,000% a true story. That is 1,000,000% the truth, not exaggerated for views, not exaggerated for entertainment. In fact, I went super back and forth on whether or not I was even going to share that story, and it raised a lot of different questions from you guys and a lot of different thoughts on the subject matter of the selling of a soul and light versus dark, you know, God versus the devil, that type of a thing. I get so many requests. Oh my goodness, I'm like that meme of clapping. I get so many requests every single day of you guys, from you guys, sorry, asking me to talk about selling souls and the devil and if it all is real and if it exists and what would that be like. And so for today's video, that is what I'm going to dive into. I do want to say very, very briefly that if you are somebody who doesn't believe in God, who doesn't believe in the devil, who doesn't have a religion, or perhaps identifies with a different religion, you are completely entitled to your own opinions. Nobody will ever on this channel try to force you to believe anything that you don't. I'm going to be sharing somebody's specific experience that they claim was real with the devil, and if you choose to believe it or if you choose not to believe it, I am leaving that entirely up to you. I personally, as I'm sure you guys can tell by the cross on my neck, believe in God, and if I believe in God, I believe that I must believe in the devil. So I do. I believe that there is light, there is darkness, there is good, there is bad, there is God, there is a devil. You know, it's the same aspect and elements of, if I believe that there are good people, and I do, I believe in good people, I must believe in the contrary, that there are bad people. If I believe in one thing, I can't choose half of what I want to believe. And so for that reason, I do believe in both. With that being said, I truly, to my core, believe in my personal faith that God will time and time again overcome the devil, that good in general will time and time again overcome darkness and bad. My favorite Bible verse is Romans 12:21, which is, do not be overcome by evil, overcome evil by doing good. And that is exactly how I live my life, and that is how I will continue to live my life. You know, there's so much that I could talk about within this subject matter, but I decided for this video to stay a little bit more neutral and to not dive into, you know, the entertainment industry versus the devil and signing of souls and contracts, and rather just dive into the average person who had perhaps dabbled into or reached out to or practiced the selling of their souls. I went and I found somebody's experience that I feel is authentic and true, and I thought that I would share it with you guys and share this person's experience so you guys can better understand how exactly he went about this, but the negative side to it as well. And the final thing that I really, really want to note before getting into this is, when you look into the history of the selling of souls, when you look into the history of, you know, the devil coming for your soul or somebody's soul, there are a lot of wonderful promises made. There are a lot of things that he will promise. My uncle was one. He was approached by the devil, who came across as an incredibly handsome, charming man, and promised him all of these things. But the devil is deceitful, just like darkness is deceitful. And a lot of times there's a twist, or almost every time there is a twist to it, and it's not ever going to be as fabulous, perfect, and incredible as one would hope in the selling of the soul. So let's get into this guy's personal experience, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit more into this entire subject matter. I've always been into dark things, ever since I was a kid. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's what some might refer to as fate. Whatever you call it, it was step 2 into my descent into madness. I'm in my mid-20s now, and I got my first night terror when I was about 3 years old. I haven't stopped getting them. But what makes the ones when I was a small child relevant was that was my first actual memory, and it's a messed up one. The dream consisted of me waking up from a nightmare and trying to go into my parents' room to feel safe again. One problem was that as soon as you left my room, there was a bathroom directly in front of my door. No way to avoid it. In that bathroom, there was a creature that moved in the darkness. It was the darkness. However, it took somewhat of a human form. Funny to say now, but he looked exactly like the neighborhood watch guy. All black silhouette, eyes pitch black as well. He was about 6 feet tall, and he would pick me up by my neck every time I tried to leave the room, close the bathroom door behind me, and choke me. All while putting his finger on his lips, whispering, "Shh." I would wake up screaming, out of breath, and my throat would hurt. Was this really happening? This would occur several times a month, exactly the same day, exactly the same man. As the dreams progressed, he would eventually have a knife on him. The knife would get closer and closer to my neck each night, until one night, it literally touched me. I knew the next time was the last time, and I never got out of bed at night again. It may not sound too terrifying, but trust me, it was. I'm still scared of the dark and have trust issues because of it. I'm not even sure they were dreams because they felt so real, but they had to be, right? Anyway, as my life went on, I became more and more infatuated with what happened to me as a child and why I would have bad dreams. And it led me to black magic, witchcraft, and Satanism, which I dabbled in for a bit. Anyone that knows Satanism knows it's actually pretty peaceful and not what the media portrays it to be. So I moved on rather quickly. I became depressed because I was poor, not attractive, not good at sports, wasn't a smart kid, you get it. Basically, I had nothing going for me. So, by measures I refuse to describe here for the pure fact that it should never be duplicated, I learned a ritual to summon the devil and sell my soul to him for the regular stuff. Fame, women, money, success. The devil had no face. The devil had no body, no voice. He was nowhere, but he is everywhere. He is in the darkness, but he is also the darkness. If you turn off the lights and look into the dark, you could find him. He moves throughout it. He looks like a dark, thick mist, but he comes form into any shape if he wants to. And whenever he did, his eyes were always yellow. Always. He doesn't speak. Not out loud, at least. He communicates by talking to you in your head, so it sounds like you're just thinking. He speaks in a language that you've never heard, but you will always understand. This is why people who are talking to themselves sometimes aren't. Just because you can't see the image they're talking to does not mean it's not there. It's not meant for you. So you will not have the access to the entire conversation. The devil is very personal and keeps everything you say between you and him. Every relationship is different because he needs to be able to manipulate whoever he's talking to in a user-specific way. Another cool thing about his form of communication is you have access to other souls. If they are dead, the dead have great stories to tell, but they get very upset if you repeat them out loud, so I won't do it now out of respect. But this is yet another reason why you see these crazy people claiming that they've spoken with long-lost past killers and family members and such. Some may be loony stories, but from experience, I promise you some of them are true. When he takes your soul, it's not a simple contract like in the movies. He talks to you for days, weeks, sometimes even months, teaches you about the world, explains why you shouldn't trust people and what it takes to be successful, and eventually brainwashes you into believing that evil is good and good is evil. After turning you into a minion, he has you do tasks for him that must be completed the day after he assigns them, or else you'll have to gain his trust all over again. They'll be irrelevant and random. For instance, he used to tell me to chant certain phrases, get in trouble at school, self-humiliate. This is so he knows you value his word over your pride. Once he does this and you pass your trials, he will offer you whatever it is you want in life. And after this months-long vetting process, he will know what it is. However, the catch is that you must keep in touch with him and do one more task, which he will not tell you until it's time to be done. This task will be horrid and has ended with the deaths of various people, including some of their own. If you commit to him and don't agree to these principles, there will be unknown consequences. I know this because I committed and bailed on the devil. I couldn't take it anymore. The images throughout my mind every day were too much to handle, even if my soul was already taken. Of course, my success and wealth was vetoed, and his promises never came true, but I also began to be punished. My night terrors have returned. Things move in the dark. Eyes watch me at night, and my luck is non-existent. I'm getting in car crashes that aren't my fault, losing every bet. I even recently was diagnosed with insomnia, which is why I'm posting this at 5:30 a.m. I'm once again depressed. My life has gone downhill. I can't keep a girlfriend. I probably never will. My soul is gone, can never be returned, as well as my sanity. I'm hearing dozens of voices a day now. Can't sleep with the lights off because I'm afraid something will happen to me. My electricity bill is through the roof and I see things that don't exist, so I just stay inside and have lost all but one of my friends, who I talk to once a month, if that. The devil doesn't even trust me anymore, so I sold my soul for no reason at this point. But that's not even the worst of it. He sent a girl after me. A demon, a monster, the worst of the worst, but that's a different story for a different day. I know I've rambled a bit, but I've never told another person these things and it feels good to get it off my chest. She is watching me as we speak, but all my lights are on, so I feel as safe as I can be at the moment. Hopefully, I can talk about the girl one day, get it in writing before she eventually gets to me. Until then, I'm gonna try and get some sleep. It doesn't come easy nowadays. And that is the end of this individual's experience. Now, obviously, I don't know this person personally. I didn't speak to them personally. I know that it is a very, very real thing. The problem with the devil is that he was once the head angel. He was once, right up there in heaven. And he knows how to be charming. He knows how to be manipulative. He knows how to make, like he said, the bad sound good. And unfortunately, he tempts you with temptations that sometimes are too hard to pass up. With that being said, it's so important, so important that people continue to spread light, love, and goodness in the world, because at the end of the day, a life led in light will never be perfect because there is darkness. There are bad things that are going to happen, but at the end of it all, it will all make some sort of sense. And I don't want to get too deep into the reasoning that the devil goes into the specific industries and why he's in entertainment and all of this. Like, I don't want to get too much into it. I just wanted to kind of share with you guys an experience, but also remind you that there is so much good within each and every one of us. And when lots of people, when the world, as cheesy as it sounds, comes together in the name of goodness, in the name of light, love, kindness, and just a true feeling and essence of goodness, it will overcome evil. That story to me is incredibly terrifying because it sounds a lot like specific experiences I've read about when I've done research into different paranormal cases and true paranormal experiences that people have had. It didn't seem too far-fetched. It didn't seem Hollywood. It actually seemed the polar opposite. And so I thought that I would share this one with you guys because this one shows the reality of that he wants to go back on what he did, but he can't. Well, you guys, that is essentially the sum of the truth about selling your soul. Nothing great could ever come from selling your soul. There is no price that you could put on goodness, on your soul, on your life that would be worth it in the end. I can promise you that. And the best thing that we can do, even if we don't believe, even if you're somebody who doesn't believe in either, is to just live your life in the most loving, compassionate, and overall good in all things that are goodness way. Please, please, please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this, if you guys have heard any stories similar, and just be kind to one another in the comments, be kind to one another in the world, because there is darkness lingering and we need to hold on to any bit of light that we can get. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos, so I don't want you to miss when I do upload. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. It makes my heart super, super happy when you guys do that, so please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.